2004 Expedition 5.4 engine. Gonna do a thermostat because of a engine code. Thermostat's high on the engine, so I just need to get the coolant level low enough so it doesn't leak all over. I'm gonna do that by siphoning out some of the coolant. So I got this siphon hose stuck down through the reservoir, through the hose, and is down the middle of this hose somewhere, which is definitely lower than the thermostat. So I'm gonna start a siphon with that. So I'm gonna take off the air intake hose. And on this particular model, these are 11 or 7/16. So this came off of the vent on the valve cover. It's easier to get off on that end than this end. And the air bypass is easier to get off on this end than it is on the back side of the engine. So thermostat's in here. So I need to take this bracket off. And then once it's done siphoning, I'll take these bolts out to the thermostat. On this model, because I'm doing the thermostat only, I'm not going to take the hose off of here. I'm just going to leave it attached. Take the thermostat housing off, pull the thermostat out, replace it. And this is the O-ring to seal it. Instead of a gasket, it has an O-ring style. So the thermostat's in here, and this is what I'm replacing. And the problem is it opens up too early, or it's stuck open, or too much coolant flows through it all the time. But either way, we'll get a new one in there, and that should fix our check engine light problem. It's a factory thermostat, Motorcraft. So we're gonna stick it back in. I'm gonna put the breather hole towards the front, just because that's where it was when it came out. It's just a little bypass so the air can get out of the system when you're putting it back together. It allows it to flow very little bit when it's running, just a very little bit. So put that in there. The gasket goes on top just like that. Put this back right in there. And there we go. This one is just a little bit shorter. Goes on the top of the thermostat outlet. If you put one of the longer ones in, there's a chance it'll bottom out, not tighten up. Maybe even crack or break the housing. So this hose, I'm gonna just reach down there, push it right back into the valve cover, breather. Fits in there pretty easily. Okay, that's back in. Now I could put it on the throttle body here. Push it on there. I'll push this on at the same time. And I'll push this hose in. The electrical in, and then I'll tighten the two hose clamps. Then this cover on this particular model just snaps in on the passenger side and the two bolts on the driver's side. Those are lined up, push down. Now I'm going to just top it off with coolant and run it, get all the air out of the system, and it's ready to go.